It wasn't until I was about 18 or 19 when my dad came back in my life, and he wanted a relationship. He recognized the need I had for healing, and he had a friend who was a life coach. And as a courtesy to my father, she agreed to coach me for 1 hour a week for 6 months of coaching. And I remember when I used to get on the phone with my mentor, she was so direct, and I was so vulnerable and hurt. And I remember I would always talk about my past. I was always talking about my past. Oh, but you don't know what I did. I was talking about my past, I was talking about people. And I remember one day when I was talking about my past, and I guess she, at that point, had enough. She said, Annielle, I don't want to hear any more about your past. Your past does not matter. Your past is already gone. There's nothing we can do about your past. All you have is your present moment and your future. And I want to say that same thing to you. Your past does not matter. All you have is your now and your future. And so I remember my mentor later on, about 6 months in, when we were finishing up, she told me, she said, Annielle, all your problems are people's problems. And she said, I think a lot of it is stemming from your childhood. She said, I think you haven't gotten over your past. She said, I suggest that you heal and you work on your self-esteem. And I remember, I didn't take it and reflect. I felt offended. I was like, who tells people they got low self-esteem? Like, just like that. And if you know her now, she's a dynamic speaker and life coach, and she's very direct. But what I realized is about 2 months later, she was absolutely right. All my problems were people problems. And a lot of it was stemming from my childhood and my self-esteem. So I began to work on my self-esteem. I studied self-esteem. I worked on it. I did the visualization exercises. I reframed my thoughts. I learned how to do those things. I went to therapy. And it wasn't just one time, because it's never just a one-time deal. I went back and I wanted more. I remember when I graduated from FAMU. I knew it was coming, I was ready. And when I graduated FAMU, when I went into the field of social work, I got re-traumatized because it was a lot of stuff that I hadn't dealt with and I forgot I had went through. So I went back to therapy and I began to work on some other areas. My therapist helped me to truly forgive my mother and recognize that she did the best she could with what she had, exactly. And that although she didn't give me everything, and it wasn't picture perfect, that I needed my mom because I wouldn't be in front of you if it wasn't for how tough she is, if it wasn't for how tenacious she is. I got a little bit of that within me. And my therapist helped me. And even when I went to grad school, I realized that my attention span is that of a squirrel. And I had to go get mental health medication. And it was very helpful for me. And we have to know that the brain is an organ, that trauma can actually impact parts of your brain. Your prefrontal cortex, which is your decision-making part of the brain, the part where it keeps you focused, it can affect that area. It can affect your amygdala, the part of your brain in charge of the fight, flight, or freeze. So where it's normal for you to be anxious or move out of the way if you see a bear, it's not okay when there's no bear and that cortisol, that stress hormone is continuously going off. It could affect your brain. So medication is cool. I ain't telling you to run to them, but I'm just saying, give you guys some tools. So I chose to own my healing. I chose to do that dirty work of the healing. And so I want to give you guys some tips how you can own your healing. Are y'all ready? All right. Okay. All right. It look good, but I feel like y'all attentive, so I'm going to let it go.